Now I've changed my pick for one of the fights, and that is I'm taking Manon Fiorot over Valentina Shevchenko, but I'm reluctant. I'm reluctant to do that. Do y'all know Manon Fiorot she has a strange build to her. She's huge and definitely big for the weight. A lot of people believe, including myself, that she could fight at bantamweight comfortably. But she manages to squeeze down to flyweight. Here's the problem. How many of y'all noticed that Shevchenko has a significantly longer reach than Manon? According to the statistics that I found here online, this here is Wikipedia, and I'm seeing 65 inches for Manon Fiorot, where with Valentina, Manon is 65 inches. Shevchenko's over 66, if I'm not mistaken. 66 and a half. So although shorter, Valentina has a longer reach. That could cause problems for Manon. We'll have to wait and see. But here's the thing. Manon is a pattern fighter. And I'm just not comfortable taking pattern fighters against Shevchenko. And the pattern fighters who prefer to strike, to stand and strike, like Alexa Grasso tried to do. See, Grasso was not having it. She had hands for Valentina. And she wanted to strike. Alexa wanted to strike with Valentina Shevchenko. Manon, I think, is comfortable, will be comfortable striking. Because she's not coming in here planning on mauling Shevchenko. Does anybody believe that? That Manon's plan is to maul? She hasn't fought anybody like that before. Every opponent Manon has faced, she's made a point to outstrike them. Even though she took a few of them down. And with Manon's takedowns, they're usually reversals. She's not shooting in. The takedown is not meant to really do something or finish you on the ground. Manon does not try to finish her opponents when they're on the ground. She's been to the ground multiple times. She has never won by submission. Ever. In most of her victories, it's not ground and pound either. She relies on outstriking your opponents. So that tells me most likely Shevchenko's going to come in here and try to wrestle. Shevchenko's going to try to take this fight to the ground. Now, my question is, how easy do you think that's going to be? Manon is not Alexa Grasso. You want to tackle, lay, and pray. You want to trip, fall, end up on the mat. You want to go to the mat. This ain't Alexa Grasso. So what happens when Valentina is unable to get these takedowns? What happens? She's back in her uncomfort zone. And remember, Grasso was able to touch Valentina several times as they stood on the feet and struck with each other. Grasso was finding Valentina. You don't think Manon would also be able to find Valentina? I think she will. But with the reach advantage with Shevchenko, and I believe Manon is a sucker for head kicks. She's a sucker for head kicks. Shevchenko throws some of the fastest kicks to the head you're going to see in WMMA. Fastest kicks, period. I don't know why she abandoned throwing kicks. She needs to go back to it. I don't know what Pavel has her going through. I don't know if it seems like he tries to tailor her to the opponent, but I'm not sure. But she's going to need some head kicks. She's going to need a lot of kicks, in my opinion, in this fight. Although she may have a longer reach than Manon, we don't know the measurements when it comes to kicks. And we know they both like to use a lot of kicks. Manon is a big woman. She's a big woman. She's 35 years old, getting up there in age. In my opinion, she is hungry. And like I said before, they truly, genuinely don't like each other. We've been hearing it. The comments that they've made are out there. You all heard them. Manon has been saying, hey, Valentina is not the same. This is not the same dominant fighter that we had a little while ago. I like this. I said a while ago, that this is one of the most historic fights ever in WMMA. This is a monstrous win streak for Manon. UFC win streak and otherwise. What is this? 7-fight win streak? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-fight win streak in the UFC for Manon. Somebody's got to get whooped. And do y'all know, if I'm not mistaken, she's the favorite. Manon is actually the favorite in this fight. And no, I'm not changing my pick because of that. It had nothing to do with me changing my pick. But I'm just saying, I don't see nobody getting washed. And I don't like picking against Shevchenko. I don't believe, I'm not one of those people out here saying she's over the hill and that she's washed up and deteriorated. I'm suspicious. I'm still wondering, but I think it's still up in the air. I just believe Grasso was an awkward style for her. It was just a style that gave her fits. And that we may very well, and I would say most likely, we're looking at the same fighter with Valentina Shevchenko. Only this time, she's far more aware and in tune with her mortality. And the fact that these fights can go either way. And I suspect this is going to make Shevchenko even more difficult to defeat. Her experience with Grasso is going to make her even more difficult to lose. I strongly suspect that. That was a big reason why I took her in the fight. And I still give her a solid. Me picking Manon, chalk that up as another fight prediction where I'm 51-49. 51 Manon, 49 Shevchenko. This is really a 50-50 fight in my opinion. In the world? Okay. So yeah, an 1.5 inch reach advantage for Shevchenko, even though she's billed at 5'5", and Manon is 5'7". Weird built. Manon is built weird. She's tall with little short arms. I know y'all noticed that. Up there in height with these little extremely short arms. Don't serve her that well. But she's confident. And Manon, she truly believes in herself. It's going to take everything for Shevchenko to beat this woman. I mean, unless she gets some type of freak knockout or something. We'll see. Now let's move on to another fight. And this is one of the best cards of the year. Especially seeing that they got Natalia Silva against Grasso. I'm happy both of them made weight. And I'm taking Natalia Silva. We all know Alexa Grasso is basically a boxer inside of a cage. She does throw low kicks. She will throw kicks to her opponent's legs. But she is based in boxing almost exclusively. My thing is, I suspect Silva may have better boxing. Yes, I said it. People, I think, overrate Grasso's boxing. What makes Grasso's boxing so prominent, as far as when you're talking about it, is because that's what she primarily depends on. Silva doesn't, she's not primarily depending on her boxing. She is like 50-50. Relies half on her hands, and she relies half on her legs as far as kicking you. And she's just not throwing low kicks. She is throwing kicks to your head as well, everywhere, to your body, and with a whole lot of speed. Speed kills. Don't y'all suspect Grasso may be... I mean, I don't know why people are so sure that Grasso's faster. Grasso might be overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the speed of the punches and the kicks. I mean, if Natalia Silva loses this fight, in my opinion, this is that's going to be a loss, a significant loss. That's going to be a significant loss. I say all the time, it's not about whether you win or lose, it's how you win or lose. This will be a horrible way to lose. Okay? Because Grasso is not going for no takedowns. So guess what, Natalia? You don't have to worry about being taken down. So you can let go with those kicks. You can let go with them hands. Get into it. Get locked into a zone. You don't have to nullify or dampen your stand-up, your offense, because you're worried about takedowns. You don't have to worry about your opponent shooting in, diving at your ankles. Right? Grasso is not about to do that. And if Grasso does, that's going to let you know that they seriously respect Natalia Silva's skill set, to the point where they were willing to try a game plan, utilize a game plan that they've never implemented. Grasso never went in there with the game plan to out wrestle and grapple her opponents. Even though she's won some fights by submissions, she will jump up on your back, try to choke you out. And by the way, I think that is a very possible way that Shevchenko beats Manon. I've been envisioning Manon getting put to sleep, choked out by Valentina for a while. Or she might get her in that crucifix. And that's what, rest assured, Shevchenko is going to go for that crucifix. Now back to this fight. I feel like Grasso is up against it. The movement of Silva is too intense. The assortment of strikes is too much. All Silva has to worry about is your fists. Come on, Alexa. You know this. All she has to worry about is your knuckles, your fists. You got to worry about everything. Everything. I just thought I'd put her face up there real quick. And you got to worry about everything going everywhere. Meaning punches Now, Silva don't really throw body punches. In fact, Alexa Grasso has an advantage as far as body punching. When it comes to boxing, that's an advantage that Alexa has over Natalia Silva. I don't recall. Now, I could be mistaken. I might be mistaken. Because I'm thinking maybe Silva did throw some body punches to Jessica Andrade. Don't hold me to that. I have to double check my facts on that. But Silva has punches and kicks that she'll throw low kicks, kicks to your body, kicks to your head. Grasso really ain't doing none of that. So you're outmatched, and most definitely Natalia Silva is far lighter on her feet. Grasso is flat-footed. I don't know why more people don't hold that against Grasso. She's a plotter. She's not on her toes. The optics in this fight is going to be horrible. There's such a high chance that Grasso gets washed, where she's just being shut out, completely shut out, each and every round, looking like she's a potted plant, walking, plodding, while Natalia Silva's looking like she's floating on air, throwing all these crazy kicks and whatnot. Grasso is up against it. She's going to need every thing in her power to pull off this victory, in my opinion. Natalia Silva has a strong chance of a complete shutout of a fighter who gave Valentina hell. And that would be the perfect setup for a fight with Shevchenko if Shevchenko were to win. Finally, I'm taking Jasmine, I think it's Jasdavicious over Jessica Andrade. But I give Andrade a solid chance. Clock Jasmine in her jaw and knock her out. I think Andrade, and who knows? I mean, Andrade has submissions on her record too. But I can see Andrade hurting Jasmine. Hurting her with punches, wherever they might land. Now, I'm going to most definitely take Jasmine in this fight. I just think Jessica Andrade is on the downfall. But I could be wrong. She is a mutant, and she doesn't seem to be folding under all the punishment that she took over her career. You know, it doesn't seem like it's taking a toll on her and how she performs, and that's been her trademark, going in there after horrible losses and looking like a killer still. And I still give her that chance, even though I'm taking Jasmine. Look at that as another 51-49 for me, rolling with Jasmine over Jessica Andrade. Very excited about this fight card. Shevchenko, in my opinion, is the life of that division. You need a strong champion. Manon also talked about this and said the same thing, that she wanted Shevchenko to stay the champion until she made her way up there. Shevchenko is I think she maintains most of the clout that she had before she lost to Alexa Grasso. She went from like 100 to, let's say, 90 in the 90s. I'll give her 90, 95. She's still the best option as champion for flyweight division, and her as the champion in that division helps to make that division probably the most competitive, most definitely. Even though there's definitely a strong champion down there. Strawweight, Manon has commented on a potential fight between herself and Weili Zhang and that she would welcome it. But of course, I don't think Weili Zhang wants to fight Manon. She would rather fight Shevchenko, even though Shevchenko went through what she went through with Alexa Grasso. A lot of girls still want Shevchenko because they know that you're going to get the most clout by defeating Shevchenko. You got to give Valentina her props. She is really a active legend, an active historical figure in WMMA. I will see y'all after the fights.